Here's something that will sting a little, but then it will set you free. You keep putting off that task because your brain is trying to protect you from a feeling. It has nothing to do with your willpower or your personality. Behavioral researchers currently define procrastination as an emotion regulation problem. When you sit down to work and feel a flicker of dread, boredom, or confusion, your brain acts like an efficient defense system. It eliminates the bad feeling by immediately pointing you towards something easier, like your phone or the fridge. Over the next 5 minutes, we are going to stop fighting that defense system and instead build a customized 5-step plan that lowers the emotional cost of starting any dreaded task. To do this, I want you to set up your screen right now. Put this video on one half and open a blank document on the other. Give that document a title, the specific name of the task you have been avoiding. Realizing procrastination is a defensive loop changes how you solve it. You stop relying on sheer discipline and start using behavioral science to bypass your brain's alarm system. Step 1 is naming the emotion. As long as the dread runs in the background unnamed, it controls you silently. The move here is to strip its power by identifying exactly what it is. Type number 1, the feeling. Honestly write down the specific emotion causing your avoidance. This takes a shapeless cloud of dread and turns it into a solvable opponent. If a task feels scary, remind yourself that a rough draft is allowed. Step 2 addresses the mechanics of work. The dread lives entirely in the act of starting. Drop down a few lines and type number 2, the 2-minute start. Define an action so tiny that it feels impossible to refuse. Avoid making the step too large. Don't commit to the report. Commit to typing one ugly sentence. Don't commit to the garage. Commit to carrying one box. This leverages a mechanical rule of momentum. Action comes first, and the motivation shows up afterward. You don't need to feel ready to begin. By shrinking the start down to just 2 minutes, you give the dread nothing to grab onto, allowing momentum to take over once you are in motion. Even with momentum, you will hit friction. That moment when the work gets hard is exactly when your willpower is at its weakest. That brings us to step 3, the if-then protocol. Identify the exact obstacle that usually derails you when you face the first sign of difficulty. Type number 3, if-then protocol. Write a specific script to defeat that obstacle. Follow the formula tightly. If this specific situation happens, then I do this specific action. You are pre-deciding so your future self doesn't have to negotiate in the moment. A review of 94 separate behavioral studies show that this habit of pre-deciding wires the cue to the action. It bypasses the part of the brain that loves to generate excuses. Next, we address your brain's craving for instant gratification with step 4, temptation bundling. Below your protocol, type number 4, temptation bundle. You are going to link your avoided task to an immediate reward that you crave. This works because you are drafting gratification onto your team. Tying the thing you want to the thing you should do pulls you through the work more effectively than white-knuckling past temptation. These 2 steps systematically dismantle your brain's escape hatches. You automate the response to obstacles and guarantee an immediate reward for staying in motion. You might feel the urge to be harder on yourself right now, believing that guilt will keep you from slacking off next time. The actual research says the exact opposite. Step 5 is the reset, and it requires you to explicitly forgive yourself for the last time you stalled. Type number 5, the reset. Write, I forgive myself for procrastinating because my brain was trying to avoid a bad feeling. Guilt and shame are bad feelings. When you beat yourself up, you make the task radioactive, triggering the avoidance loop again. Self-forgiveness is actually a struct mechanical requirement. It removes the emotional fuel that procrastination runs on, allowing you to look at the task with clear eyes. Look at your document. You have taken a vague sense of dread and broken it down into 5 specific actionable steps. I want you to test this system right now. Focus entirely on your 2-minute start. Here is your final instruction. As soon as this video ends, set a timer for 2 minutes and execute that tiny micro start immediately. You don't climb the mountain by waiting for a sudden burst of motivation. You climb it by making the first step so small that your brain forgets to be afraid of it. Building this completely new loop takes time. When scientists tracked it, rewiring the brain took an average of 66 days. If you don't feel magically cured tonight, you are right on schedule. If this gave you a new way to look at the things you put off, Subscribe and hit the like button. Drop a comment and tell me which of the 5 steps you will try first. By systematically lowering the emotional cost of starting, you take control back from the fear and finally begin the work.